Hey folks, Matt from artoftheimage.com. Got another viewer question about some of the new Canons. We've got the T7i and we've got the 77D, and they've kind of changed things up. Some people may be a little confused on the nomenclature. We used to have the T6i and the T6s previously. We no longer have an I and an S. We have the T7i and now the 77D, which is essentially, for all extents and purposes, if you want to follow the old naming structure, a T7S. So we have Andy's Laboratory, that is YouTube username. He writes in and says, for a beginner photographer, what would you recommend, T7i or 77D? And this is a common question. Got it a lot too with the T6i and the T6S. For a beginner, I would rather see you get the T7i and put some more money into lenses than I would you spend more money on the 77D and then tell me I'm just using the lowest end kit lens. I didn't have money for it to add a prime like the Canon 50mm f1.8, which is a fantastic little prime for $100 and something. So I would rather see you put the money into the 7i and the savings go towards adding, for instance, the 50mm prime, because you're going to find you're going to love that lens, and it opens up a whole world of low light possibilities, as well as blown out backgrounds and just things you'll never get to experience if you stick with just a zoom, the kit zoom. So that's what I would do. You're really only sacrificing, an extra dial and the top LCD and just a few things that are nice on a pro level camera, but for a beginner, you're probably not going to miss them. And eventually, if you're really going to get into it, you're going to want to upgrade anyways, whether into a full frame or something like the 80D or the 90D when it comes out or something like that. So I would go T7i and spend the extra savings on a prime, and my recommendation there would be the 50mm f1.8 STM, which is fantastic. Canon lens, I think they're $125. I'll put links below, you can check them out. But what would you guys do? Do you agree with me? Would you go the 7i, the T7i? Would you go with the 77D? Would you go with a used 70D or a used 80D? Actually, frankly, if you're okay with a refurb or used, that's probably the route I would actually go over both of those, is a used 80D. Used or refurb. If you can find one at the same price so you're within your budget, that's what I would do, because I like both of those cameras better than the T7i and the 77D. Or I should say I like the 80D better than both the T7i and the 77D. And if you can find it at a good enough price on a refurb, which I think they're pretty good right now if you find a refurb, or especially used, then you can still add the 50mm f1.8 STM. I would get the 18-135 STM, which is the one I had if you look back when I had the 80D in, and the 70D. So that's what I would do. What would you guys do? Let us know in the comments below which way you'd go and why. Thanks for your question, Andy's Laboratory. And stay tuned, folks. We'll be back soon here at artoftheimage.com.